Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica.
My name is Darwin.
And welcome back to episode 71.
Let's go.
Today we're going to be talking about confidence. Are you born with it or do you cultivate it? I wrote this on my status on Instagram the other day and I got mixed answers. Some people say you cultivate confidence. Others were saying you're born with it. And I have a personal story when it comes to this because a lot of people think that I was born confident, but I really wasn't. I remember being a child, 5, 6, even younger than that. And I remember being at like family parties. You see how now, like, I'm not afraid. I'll dance in front of everybody. I'm not shy like that or afraid to be myself in front of people. Back then, I was totally shy.
Yeah.
I remember like seeing tapes of when I was like little, literally like on my mom's lap, like this. And my dad would try to take me out to dance and I would like start crying because it was almost like I was afraid of like being put on the spotlight. Then fast forward to me being 13 and I started going to modeling school. And I feel like it happened gradually. I was not a confident kid.
Me neither. I'm still not confident.
Well, come on now. You can't say you're not confident at all. I think you are. I think you're more on the reserved side or more on the, I don't know.
I'm more confident than I was.
Really? Like as a teenager though? You weren't confident? You came off pretty confident to me when I met you. You were a DJ. Come on now.
I guess. I'm very confident when I know what I'm doing.
I think maybe DJing, you were comfortable DJing because you were actually really good at it.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, so for me, I guess I'll say my story and you can share some of yours. But for me, I was not a confident kid. And I did realize, though, as I was getting into my teenage years, when I turned 12, I believe, that I really liked fashion. I really liked always dressing nice. You know, it was something that my mom would always do anyway. Like she would dress me with like pretty dresses to like go to church, whatever it may be. We were going to Brooklyn to visit my tia, you know. She would dress me nice. And as I was turning a teenager, I realized I really enjoyed dressing nice and like fashion and things like that. And so one day I just saw this ad on TV and it was for Supermodel New York. I remember that and everything. And I don't know, it sparked something in me. And I believe I was like 12 where I was like, maybe I can be a model. Like, I just saw the little girls like doing the runway and it sparked something in me. But I was not confident. Let's be very clear about that. My confidence was learned. It was definitely cultivated. So once I brought it up to my parents that, you know, I wanted to go to this modeling school, you know, I wrote down the number and everything. I was like, Mommy, like, you think we could go to this modeling school? You know, and they actually, I think they were surprised that I wanted to do that. And because of that, they kind of were like, okay, like, let's do this. Because I wasn't in any activities before then. And so they put me in modeling class, which I'm forever grateful for because honestly, that was a sacrifice my parents did for me. It was very expensive to be in that school. But they put me through it and I learned a lot of things, you know, etiquette, you know, I learned a lot about posture and like how to walk in heels. The reason why I walk so confidently in heels today is because of modeling school. And although, you know, when I went in there, I had a different vision of what a modeling school was. I digress. I did learn things that I believe made me a very feminine woman when I grew up, as I grew older. And so I was there from like 12 up until I was like 14 maybe. And I did fashion shows with them. And so little by little, all those things just, I started to get better and better. And so what happens when you try something, even if you're scared, I remember being in my first class with my heart coming out of my chest. I don't know why. Like I was just, you know, it was something new for me. And, you know, internally, I kind of felt like, maybe I don't belong in here. You know, maybe I won't be good at this. I was also very short. I've always been very short. So I've always been like the shortest girl for my age.
Which is not good for modeling.
It's not. But, you know, in modeling school, they don't really focus on that. They focus on teaching you how to be a model. And so they did tell me at one point, you know, oh, she is a little bit on the shorter side. She's not really good for runway, but she has a good body proportionate wise. You know, I'm very like petite, but, you know, it's like I don't have big chest. I don't have a big nothing. You know, I have a very well proportioned body. And I was told that I was good for like commercial things and like billboards and like magazines kind of things. But runway was like, I don't think you're going to be a runway model, even though I absolutely love runway. Like if I could have been a runway model, I definitely would have been a runway model. But yeah, my confidence grew over time because, you know, we would do these fashion shows and my parents would buy the tape and then I would watch myself like on the runway. And that's a really cool feeling. Yeah. You start to gain confidence. You start to see yourself in a different light. And I completely believe that that was the start to my confidence growing. And so then when I got to high school, because I was already like in modeling school, you know, I started like having these conversations in these rooms that would always put me in like the school cultural night or like the fashion show for the school. And so people all of a sudden would start to see me as, oh, she's a model, you know, and that also, you know, starts to make you see yourself on a different light. In high school, I also learned that I was very lucky to be in a small school where I had a lot of individualized attention. And I do believe that the teachers that I had in high school had a very big impact in my life. I want to mention, I know they're not going to watch this, but who knows, like Miss Talanda, Miss Noonan, Evelyn, my English teacher, like each one of them poured a little something in me that made me confident at one point or another. And I learned in high school that, for example, I never liked to like be in front of the classroom and like talk. Yeah. That made me nervous. Definitely. And even today, it could make me nervous depending on where I'm at and what I'm going to talk about. However, because when I was in high school, I kind of broke that ice and I kind of gave myself the confidence of you can do it. Once you do it once and you do it again and again, you realize it's not a big deal. Yeah. You realize once you do it once and you break that ice, you just get more and more confident at doing that thing. So I realized that very early on in high school that if I wanted to do anything impactful in life, I couldn't hold myself back because I was shy or I was scared. The moment that I do something that I'm scared to do is the moment that fear goes away. Yeah. The moment I do it and I break that ice is the moment that I've gained a new level. So I learned that in high school and I started getting very curious in regards to that. I would read a lot of self-help books in college. Like I read this book that was called
Successful Women Think Differently.
Yes, Successful Women Think Differently. That book made such an impact in my life.
We'll actually link it down in the bio of this video.
She's a Christian woman, so sometimes she would, you know, reference like God in our daily living, but it's also very it was very impactful for me. It shows you that confidence. I think she has another one, Confident Women Talk Differently, something like that. She has many good self-help books. And self-help books helped me a lot in cultivating my self-esteem. Like, for sure. Yeah. And so once I discovered in high school that all I had to do in order to become confident at something was actually do it and get over that fear, it was over. Game over. Like, you know, I started, you know, I wasn't shy anymore. Like, I became confident. I would be in fashion shows, in dance, whatever. Like, I wanted to do it and I wasn't so afraid. I would always get the jitters. I think that's pretty normal for like everyone. I just get over it. Like, if I'm nervous about something, okay, I'm a little nervous, but I need to get over it. If it's something that I want to do, I'm not going to let nervousness or my self-talk, negative self-talk, to talk me out of doing that thing. Because I realize that once you do it, that's a new level unlocked.
Yeah. And it's probably nervousness because you want to overperform, not because you're not confident that you could deliver on what you're going to do. Because, I mean, it even applies to business. It's like, I'm very confident on speaking to any business owner because, like, I'm doing it. So it's like, I know everybody struggle. Like, everybody's starting a business. You will start the business the same way. You need to acquire new customers. Like, it's all kind of the same thing. Everybody just does different things.
Yeah.
So I'm confident. If I didn't have this, I would probably be like, and like I don't really want to talk to them because like I don't own a business. Like,
yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to conversate about. And you probably think that they're smarter than you.
And now I'm like, bro, I can speak to anybody.
This gave you confidence.
Yeah, I love picking people's brains.
Yeah.
And even when we started this YouTube, like I was definitely not confident
in
being in front of the camera. And now, I mean, I'm forced to.
Now you're on episode 71.
71 of a podcast.
And coming up with topics and everything.
Dancing all over TikTok. It's funny because people might look at like me on TikTok and be like, yo, he's so confident. Like,
I know.
Now just randomly ask me to dance in front of everybody because
he won't. Don't even try it. Don't even try. He does it because we're alone at home. I mean, if we're out in a party and everybody's dancing, like he'll dance with me, but it's not like he's like the first one on the dance floor. Vámonos! Like he's not the party starter, like at all.
Social media is a lie.
But yeah.
Nah, I definitely think it's learned. I mean, maybe some people are just born confident.
I was going to say, maybe some people were born confident. If you were born confident, leave us your comments down below. We would love to know.
It seems like they're born confident because if their parents are confident, it's going to rub off on them. But if their parents are not confident in anything, it's not going to happen. So it seems like, oh, that kid was born confident. No.
Maybe they're just learning.
They're just like surrounded by people who are confident.
That's a great point. Because, yeah, I don't think my parents are the confident type to, like, you know, be dominant in anything. Like, they're just nice people, you know, but they're very, like, humble, you know, like, if they have to talk to you, they'll talk to you very nicely, you know, but they're not, like, the type to, you know, feel like, you know, I'm an expert in this and you talk to you about it. Like, they're very low-key people. So that's a very good point. My confidence I learned because I definitely don't get this from anyone in my family. Yeah. I've always been told the dancing comes from my dad. For some reason, everybody says my dad was like the salsa dancer when he was younger. So maybe, you know, it is my dad. I get the wanting to dance thing because not even my mom. My mom is not a dancer at all. Yeah. And like the performing, I'm telling you, it's something I learned. This is not something I was born with. This is something definitely I cultivated. And once I started getting my foot wet, you know, I liked it. And I realized how it can open a lot of doors. And it just made me feel good. It's just something that I learned to do. And I realized how much of a value it has. To be confident is very valuable in every aspect. Even when you, let's say, are looking for a job. Confidence is key. Key. And this is the reason why I remember, I don't know if she watches our podcast, but my high school friend, Araceli, I remember one time she told me, because when I was like, I started working when I was 17. I was about to graduate high school and I wanted, you know, money to like spend on my clothes and prom and senior trip and all that. And so I started working part-time when I was 17. And I would get this job, and then you know what? I didn't like that job. I got another job, and I didn't like that job. I got another job, and I would get jobs so easily. And I remember my friend Araceli was telling me one day, she goes, "I don't understand. You just get jobs like so easily. Like, oh, you just got out of this job, you got a new job in like 2 days." And at that point, you know, I didn't really think much of it, but it definitely had everything to do with how confident I was in speaking to any manager and speaking in any interview that I would go to. I would walk in there. I had no clue what I was doing. I was 17, you guys. I had no experience, but I would walk in there like I've been working my whole life.
Yeah.
And I would just go. I remember my first job was at a
hat store.
It was a very small hat store on Fordham Road.
She gave me a hat, guys.
And I just walked in there and was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a part-time job." That one was very easy to get because it was a very small store again, and he just needed like a helper. So I started there, and then from there, I started working at Dr. J's. And at Dr. J's, I walked in. That was a very big store on Fordham. I walked in, I got to the cashier, and I was like, "Hey, I want to speak to the manager. I'm looking for a job." And she pointed me to the manager, and he just was like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm just looking for a part-time job." And he was like, "When can you start?" I said, I could start right now if you want me to. Like, I literally said that to him. And he goes, "Oh, okay. Come in tomorrow and bring your working papers." I was ready.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't afraid, even though I knew nothing. I never worked on a cash register. I'd never worked I work at the hat store, but I had never worked at a big retail store.
Yeah.
I was just, in my mind, I was like, if she can do it, that she's there in the cashier, I could do it too. I was confident that I could do anything at that point. Anything. And that's the attitude you need to have in life with everything.
And the more you do something, like, the more confident you're going to get.
For sure.
So
and
it's like...
it was a domino effect, because once I asked for that one job and I realized how easily I got that job, I was like,
yeah.
Where do I want to work next? Okay, let me go in there and ask for a job. And I would just walk in there, talk to the manager like I owned it.
Yeah.
And
you just have to, like, do it. Like, example, like somebody who loses weight, right? That they actually lose weight and learn how to lose weight. Mm-hmm. Like, for me, I'm not a personal trainer, but I am confident that I can show you how to lose weight.
Yeah.
Don't be judging my body right now.
He got the dad bod.
But I'm confident.
Dad mod.
But I'm confident.
But you can. You've done it several times.
And and I know I can help people do it too, because I've gone through the process. So like, once you start going through whatever process it is you want to do, like, you would be confident.
As long as you achieve that goal. Because if you started, right, confidently, and then you let whatever circumstance die you down or die your energy down, and you don't complete that task, you're never going to do it again. You're going to look at it as an obstacle. Oh, no, I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that.
Like when I did that, when I went to help Amaris in the workshop, that time, it was like a photography workshop, and I was just going like to help out. And I got there, and I'm like kind of nervous. I was nervous. I never attended a workshop, and I never went to like help in a workshop. And I got there, and like, you know, I saw people not confident at what they was doing, because it was beginners, and at that point, like, I was already very good at what I did. And like, I just started helping, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, this is not brain science. Like, I know all of this stuff. Like, I can answer any question that this person has. Yeah. Or anybody in this work. It was literally a beginner's kind of workshop, and I'm not a beginner. Like, why would I have an issue like teaching this person? Yeah. And I didn't even go to teach, and like, it happened, and I was naturally. Like, wait a minute. But I was definitely not confident. But that was, I had the bubble guts and all that.
But that was a level unlocked for you. Once you came out of there, you came out with a new set of confidence. You came out thinking, hey, maybe that's not that bad. Yeah. Maybe I can do workshops. Maybe I can teach someone one-on-one. Maybe it made you confident on something else. Yeah. But had you not tried it, you would have always felt like, I don't think I'm good at that. Sometimes it just takes you trying. And maybe you do try something and you realize you're not good at that thing. But unless you try it, you don't know. But what I've learned is that if you're confident enough to start to learn something, you're interested in whatever it is that you're learning at that point, you can get good at anything. Yeah. You can get confident at doing anything. It is a matter of you believing in yourself. Yeah.
It's like why all these like rich people that you see on like the actual rich people making money, like they sound so confident giving you financial advice, is because
they've done that.
They've done it. Like, and it sounds like, oh, this person's just bragging about. Like, nah, they literally just giving you exactly what you need to do.
They're giving you the tea.
And they're confident about it. Like,
right.
They say, do this, like it will work.
And sometimes you could either listen to a person like that and say, oh my God, that person's so arrogant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh my God, so easy for you to say because you have all this money. Or you can listen to that person and say, oh, maybe I can learn a thing or two from what they just said. Everything is perspective, you guys. Everything is how you look at life. How you look at life, how you think of life will place you where you need to be. And sometimes people believe that they have the worst luck in the world. Sometimes it's not luck. Not sometimes, all the time. It's not luck. Is that you have not been thinking of life in the right light. You haven't given yourself a chance. Maybe you're on a negative thought pattern and you need to switch your thought pattern and start thinking more positively about life. You attract what you think. Yep. And if your thoughts are always negative, if your thoughts are always, oh my God, life is so hard. Oh my God, life is not fair. Oh my God, life is this. Oh my God, life. Oh my God, life. And you're dragging your feet throughout life. Life is going to be extremely hard for you. It's going to be 10 times harder for you than for the person who looks at life on a more positive light. Yeah. And life is already hard. Like life is already hard for you to add your negativity to it. That's why for me, I'm all about listening to positive people. I'm all about reading positivity books, self-help books, whatever it is. I like to indulge myself with people who are happy, for people who have love for life. Because I know for me, it's very easy for me to go down the negative path. You know, like it's very easy for me to just do the self-negative talk on myself. So I know for me, I don't need to be listening to anyone who's negative Nancy all day. I don't need that. I have enough negativity flowing in my brain for me to allow myself to feed more into that. So I'm always looking to look at life on a better light. I'm always looking to get with people who are always looking for the solution to things.
I feel like I give you that sometimes too. Like sometimes you'll be like, I'm like, why? Like why are you even thinking about that?
You do. For sure. For sure. I think that we balance each other very well in that aspect. Because like if I see you kind of like a little down, which I don't think is very often, but you're human, like you have your days. Like I can sense if you're like maybe like a little stressed out or something. And it's like not normal for me to see you that way. So it's like, I don't like to see you that way. So I'm like, okay, are you okay? Like what's going on? Like talk to me. Like I don't want you to be in that light. Like I know what it is like. Like I've shared in the past, like I've struggled with like anxiety, and like when my anxiety gets out of control, I've gotten into very dark spaces with depression. Like I know what that is like. So when I'm well, I do everything in my power to not go back to that state. I do everything in my power to not be in that mental space, because I know that when you're in a negative mental space, nothing works for you. Nothing is going to work for you because you're going to see the problem to every solution. Yeah. Everybody's going to give you a solution. And when you're in that mind space, in that mind space, a solution sounds like a problem.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're not okay. Like if you right now are in a headspace where people are trying to help you out and you listen to them and it just doesn't seem like a solution to you, like everything just seems like a problem, you're in a bad headspace and you need to, I don't know, seek for counseling, therapy, whatever it is that you need to do. You need to get yourself out of that mental state. And sometimes the only thing that it takes is for you to get yourself out of wherever environment you are in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in your own home. Maybe your own home is toxic. That could be.
Yeah.
You just need to take yourself out of it. You need to put yourself in a space where people are going to shed light on you constantly.
I got the light shining on her right now.
You have a lot of light shining on me.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the main topic, which was confidence. For me, confidence is cultivated more than anything. I think that sometimes you can even be confident as a child. And if you have, let's say, negative parents or parents who are always pointing out what's wrong with you or what you should do better, but they never shed light on what you do right, you could be a confident kid and grow up to not be so confident, depending on the voices you have around you. So yeah.
Good topic.
Maybe some people are born confident, but for me, I think is something you cultivate. Because I think that kids, when they're born, kids are a blank canvas. So when you pour good into them, pour positivity into them, pour confidence into them, more likely than not, they're going to be confident kids because that's what you taught them. That's how you taught them to see life. But if you're the type of parent who's always, nagging about everything, who's always pointing out what they're doing wrong and never acknowledging when they do something good, I mean, nothing good can come from that. You as the parent, you're the manual to your child, and what we do as parents has huge repercussions on our kids as adults. So let's also be very mindful as parents as to what we're teaching our kids so that they can be confident adults.
Definitely agree with that.
I know I'm doing everything in my power so that my kids could be confident in every aspect. If when they grow up, because I know I won't be able to control every setting they're in. They're going to be in school. They're going to, have friends. And I really hope that our house talk makes them strong enough to sustain what any bully or any kid or any young adult might tell them in their life. But I work every day so that my kids can be confident human beings. Like, I want them to love who they are, every aspect. Like, for example, my daughter has really curly hair like I do. And I know that me growing up, I didn't love my curly hair. I thought it was a problem. Like, I thought curly hair was ugly. Like, I thought it was ugly on me. I didn't like it. And I don't want my daughter to feel that way. So, like, I have straightened her hair like maybe twice in her life. But I always, reinforce that thought of, my God, you have such beautiful hair, baby. Oh my God, your curls are so pretty. Yeah. And they are. Like, as an adult, I've realized how pretty curls are. And I've learned to love my own curls. Now I straighten my hair, not because I don't feel pretty with my curls, but because I want to.
Yeah.
Now it's different. Like, I straighten my hair whenever I feel like having my hair straight, not because I feel like I can't have my hair curly. And that's a different feeling. So the other day, like, my daughter was talking to somebody. I don't remember who she was talking to, but they were like, oh, how are you going to do your hair or something? The thing is that my daughter responded, oh, no, because I love my hair. She said that. And it made me so proud that she said that, because it made me realize how important it is to say the things you say. The fact that she said she loved her curly hair made me so proud.
I love my curly hair.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, I think that's enough for today's topic. That's it for today's podcast, you guys. Thank you.
We confident on that.
What?
We confident this is the end.
This is the end, yes. Leave your comments down below. What are your thoughts? Do you think that confidence, you're born with confidence, or that you cultivate confidence? That's it for today's podcast, you guys. Thank you so much for watching or listening. If you're here on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like button. If you've come to the end of the video and you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the bell so you can be notified every time we post a video. If you're on any of our audio platforms, don't forget to leave us your reviews. It really helps us out. That's it for today's podcast, you guys. Thank you for watching or listening. Until next time.
Thanks.